good morning, everyone. I hope your day is starting as brilliantly as mine. I thought today we would take a little tour, and I'll show you a little bit more of the lay of the land around here. There's a couple of 14-day campsites just west of here, just before you get to California. So I thought we would take the little trip today. It's not far. I've taken the trip twice, once in the morning and once in the afternoon, and the morning is glorious. As the sun is coming up on the mountains, it's really pretty. So I thought I would do this in the morning. So buckle your seatbelts, here we go. So we're going to start from this little parking area on the west part of Quartzsite, and we'll be taking Route 10 west. Just a little ways, not very far, and the sun will be in the windshield here for a minute, but once we get going, it should be clearer. And, it's starting to pick up a little bit. There's a lot more people that I've seen in some of the free campsites. In particular, in High Jolly, seems to have a little bit more rigs in it. So here we are. We're going west, getting onto the on-ramp at Route 10, and here we go. This should be nice because it's usually really pretty going west this time of the morning, and especially where we're going to. So I've got something going over there on the other side. Down the heater so the sound is going to be a little better. And off we go. There's a guy riding his bike on the right side of the road. You don't see that on the Northway in New York. It's funny, the mountains don't look quite like shark's teeth in the morning with the sun on them. They look a little bit more like mountains. On some of these hills you can see ATV trails. I kind of wonder about everybody that wants to clean up the desert and yet they allow ATVs all over the place. It's another thing you don't see in the Adirondacks very much. They're very particular where they allow their ATVs. Just one of the differences between here and back home. On the left is Dome Rock 14-day camping area. And we're going to stop on the way back once I get turned around. It's one of the places I just wanted to check out. And just to see what it looks like. It's a little different than the other ones that I've been to. It's a little hillier. Looks like there's a trail up that mountain too, to something up there. I may try Dome Rock here in the next 2 or 3 weeks or so. I think there's a place I want to hit before I come back up this way. And up here on the right, you'll see the sign for the exit for Dome Rock Road. There is also an exit on the other lane, the lanes going east. It doesn't appear to be really that crowded yet. I've heard other YouTubers say that they think that there aren't as many people here as they've seen in previous years. Be interesting to see what happens the rest of the winter. And we're heading into the mountains. And this is part of the reason why I want to do this in the morning, because it's very different, has a different look about it in the morning than it does in the evening. We won't be going as far as California, but California is only, I'd say, probably about 8-9 miles from here, from this point. I do have to say, this is pretty cool. This scenery right here is pretty cool. And this sign says we're entering the Colorado River Indian Reservation. So I'll have to look up and see what native tribes are part of that coalition, part of that group. It's just really, really different. It's desert, but it's a different kind of desert. Sorry about the roads. They're in need of some work in places. I just think this is just totally different than anything I ever saw growing up. I think the first time I was ever in the desert, I don't know if you could call it desert, was when I was 10 or 13. I think it was 10. When I was 10, we went out to Colorado to visit my uncle and his family. And it was just, they lived in Denver at the time, Fort Collins. And it was just a very different landscape. But I don't really think I thought that much about it. And we toured around a little bit, went into Estes Park. We didn't go all the way up. We drove around a little bit, went to a couple of museums. We toured around Denver a little bit. It was nice. We went horseback riding too. I do remember that. We went horseback riding out in the desert. I think it was like a 3-hour horseback ride. It was fun. It was fun. It was definitely different. Now the town we're coming up on is Ehrenburg. And this is where there is another location for another 14-day camping area. And, but we're gonna make a pit stop first. I gotta use the rest stop. And then we'll continue. I've seen a little bit on this 14-day. I think Bob Wells and his cheap RV living YouTube channel. He covered Ehrenburg a few years ago. But I've seen a couple other YouTubers that YouTube nomads that have done some video from here. This is really the last stop before you hit California. The last little town. There's a couple of exits. Those mountains you see, those are in California. We're going to make a little pit stop here, and then I'll come back to you here. Welcome to Ehrenburg Rest Area. Okay, we're on our way. Pit stop done. We are gonna go check out a couple of places and see what the cell service is like there. Boy, those truckers just don't give you a break, do they? Wow. Big rigs headed toward California. Every time I come through, this way station is closed. Don't know if that's a permanent thing or if we just keep hitting the wrong time of day. So we're probably, at this point, we're probably about 5 miles, maybe less, from the California border. So we're going to take this exit, and we are going to check out this little site. Just to see what it looks like and see how their signal is. I imagine their signal is pretty good. I don't imagine there's a problem with their signal. Pretty close to the highway. To the right is the laundromat and the shower that I've heard nomads talk about. I got gas in the 76 the other day, And it was night, and I couldn't figure out why, in heaven's name, it was as busy as it was. And then I realized it's across the border from California, where the gas prices are like twice what they are here. So we're going to go around this loop. And we're going to take the frontage road east. And this will take us to the Ehrenburg 14-day camping area. And it's very different from the ones that we see in Quartzsite. The ones that we see in Quartzsite are very flat. It looks like this area has not as many people as I would have thought. Definitely people who have been here for a while. If he wants to go by, letting this truck go by, and this car go by. I see a little bit of trash in here. This is definitely not as well kept up, I don't think, as the other areas. So I think I'm just going to go up in here. And just be careful because it looks like this is a little bit rougher. A rougher area. So just bear with me, and we're gonna try our handy dandy little hotspot to see what we get for reception here. As you can see, we get 5 bars here as well. I wasn't too worried about this spot getting good signal because it is so close to the highway and into town. So we're going to be off. I suppose this place would do in a pinch. I'm not as keen on this one as I would be on other ones. It does appear that there's a lot more, shall we say, squatters here. Yeah, I think there's a lot more squatters here than at some of the other places. But again, you've got signal, and I think if you go further back up into some of these places, you can find some places that are halfway decent. The garbage is a real turnoff. I think there's a lot of squatters here. So we are going to get back onto Route 10 and go east. And we're going to make another stop. Not the worst place I've seen, but it definitely looks to me like there's a lot of squatters, and like I said, the garbage is a turnoff. But I think you can probably find some places up into the woods. So we're heading back toward Quartzsite, and it is 60 degrees. It's probably about 10 o'clock. I don't have a clock with me right now, but I'm guessing it's in the neighborhood of about 10 o'clock. And we're doing probably about 54 miles an hour, somewhere in there. And then those are the same mountains that we just passed through. We're going to pass through them again. I definitely like the landscape a little bit better in the mountains than I do in the flat. It's just something different. I've been studying. There's those little bushes that you see. A lot of those little bushes, probably most of those little bushes, are what they call creosote bushes, which, if they are any relation to the creosote we used to put on wood siding, they will burn pretty quickly. There's also ironwood trees, and then there's another version of a tree, or another type of tree that I can't remember the name offhand. But there's not much else out here. There aren't even any pines that I can see that aren't planted by somebody. I'll have to look up and see if that's where they get creosote from, those creosote bushes. That really definitely makes me curious now. I used to have to creosote the side of the garage every once in a while when I was a kid. I don't think you can use it anymore. I think they consider it a poisonous substance. Bunch of new cars going by. I think they're Teslas. Don't get me started on the man who owns that company. So this is the view going east through the mountains that we just came through. I just wanted to check out a couple of these 14-day camping areas. And we are entering the Colorado River Indian Reservation again. I know that when you go to Parker, you also enter it, so it must be a bit of an odd-shaped reservation. I'll see if I can bring something up on Google about what it looks like and the people who live here. It's just very different, very cool. It's just very cool topography, landscape. But I suppose anybody coming from the southwest, when they come to the east, they think the same thing. No, when you're passing through them, they don't look quite like shark's teeth. Maybe it's just the time of the day. Interesting, all the saguaros, they all look different. I think they look like little men standing there with their arms up in the air. We are leaving the Colorado River Indian Reservation. And we are almost, this sign says, to Dome Rock Road, which is our second stop. And I just want to check this one out too. See what I think of this one. This one definitely looks interesting. I'm not sure which one of those is the Dome Rock, but we're going to pull off here. And we're going to check this out. Bridge doesn't look really that old. This looks like a fairly new intersection. Exit. We got another cattle guard. Just checking this place out. I'm a little more curious to see what the signal is like here. Now this looks more inviting as far as, as far as a stay. This looks like it'd be more interesting. And just a nicer place to stay. On both sides of the road. Looking for a halfway decent road to go up. But I shouldn't hold my breath. We'll take this one and we'll go up. I don't think we will. There's a ditch there. And I just don't want to chance it. It looks quite extensive, though. It's like it's really big. We'll go a little further, then we'll turn around and check it out. It definitely looks a little big. Let's see what we have here. I just didn't want to pull off. This one's better. This one's better. This one doesn't have a ditch. We're going to go up this hill. Hopefully we'll make it. If we don't, you'll hear from me. Okay, we're just going to pull over here and take my little thingy out. And I'll be with you in a minute. So as you can see, the signal here is a little less than what you can get in some of the others. I am getting, it looks like 3 bars here, which is enough to do some work. You can get some signal, but you're not getting everything that you need if you want to upload. So as beautiful as this is, it'd be good for a night, but I'm not sure I'd want to stay here for an extended period of time. So we're going to strike this one as a maybe. I am really interested in those trees. Is that paint? Or is that just the natural way they grow? It looks like paint to me. It definitely looks like paint to me. So we're still here at Dome Rock, still just kind of looking around. This green tree in front of us has got me curious. I've seen several in this area, that green color, and it looks to me like they're painted, but I'm not really sure. They definitely look painted to me. Just very interesting. So like I said, this is a really interesting place, and it's really pretty. I'm just not overwhelmed about the fact that the signal is not the best here. But it does look like an interesting place to just kind of camp out. I would do it for a few days. And I think you might be able to check around and try different spots and see if there's a better reception closer to the road or higher up. But it is one of the prettier places that I've seen for camping. It does seem pretty empty though, compared to some of the ones closer to Quartzsite. And this one really isn't that far from Quartzsite. There are a few people here scattered. A lot of vans. Mostly vans. There's a tent. Interesting. Very interesting. There's a trailer. Whoa, took that one a little too fast. So we're 5 miles from Quartzsite here. Looks like Dome Rock goes pretty far back too. Further back than we went. So the town you see in front of you, well, that's Quartzsite. Famous in song and story. A mecca for nomads everywhere on the East Coast, West Coast. It's not for everyone. Desert life is definitely different than the Northeast. But it is a lot cheaper if you have no other choice than to find a place to stay as cheaply as you can. This area is definitely worth it in the winter. It's worth it just to come and look. I would definitely say come and look. Check it out. You might like it, you might love it, you might decide that's it, been there, done that. miles to Phoenix. I do have to say, I don't intend to drive through Phoenix anytime soon again. That was, driving here through Phoenix at night was nuts. The traffic was absolutely crazy. And that sign back there said that exit 17 was closed. So we might have to go to exit 19, which is the next one up. I'm curious, there's another road that's running right there. I wonder if that might be Dome Rock Road as well. That's worth checking out in the future to see the frontage road. Yeah, it says ramp is closed. So we're going to have to use 19. But that'll give you an idea. Of quartzite from Route 10. And on the right would be the area where the big tent is going to be, somewhere in there. I saw a sign for the meteor crater. That would be interesting to see. That was highlighted as one of the scenes from the movie Starman, where they end up at the meteor crater. Might have to put that on my list of places to see while I'm here. Along with, I want to go see the Salton Sea, drive around that, and I want to see Tombstone. Might have to add the meteor crater to that. Interesting, the trailer parks are the only places where you see palm trees. People on electric bikes. Going up here. gonna pull in here and I'm gonna let the dog out for a minute. Relax just a minute. Just let him out.